Have you ever heard about the king of the carbon? You need to hear about this story and what kind of fraud it involves in America and how you can figure out not to fall in this kind of scams. Welcome to the channel. My name is Lena Sakai. I'm Green Business Post editor, and today we're going to talk about the interjections I had with a professional that works decades with decarbonization and carbon credits, and she knew about the King of Carbon scheme. She understood at that time that something was weird, and she got away from the scam because she knows how these things works. Even though all the chain was corrupted, she knew there was something not right. So let's learn with her knowledge and use this to future negotiations on the carbon market. If this is the kind of content you're looking for, subscribe to the channel to receive more content like it. And this was a talk I had with Maria Isabel Caires. She's graduated in chemistry and has master's and doctor and postdoctor on electric vehicles and renewable energy. We talk about a bit about the carbon credits. If you want to watch the whole conversation, it's in Portuguese, but it has the subtitles, so it's in the description. So let's go to the main points that she talked about on the carbon credits. So we start sharing what is this carbon credits. She explains it's a environmental compensation, and the main area she believes, she understands after decades of work, that a carbon credit should be focused on is the transportation sector, because and not only the emissions of the CO2, but because of all the pollution, other gases, pollutants, gases that comes with CO2, comes with the fossil fuel combustion. So she believes that's a very important reason we should focus on transportation, and because of the quantity of those gases. She says that in the 70s, compared to nowadays, there were not that huge quantity of lung diseases like the respiratory diseases that we have today because of the pollutants in the air, because of all these gases that are harmful for population's health. That's what she is very concerned about, and that's why she specialized on electric vehicles. And she said something very interesting and curious, that there is the real electric vehicle that started with the hydrogen and not from the battery vehicles. So she said that it all started with the hydrogen, and it's very old. So she said it's developing well now, which is good, but it didn't start with batteries, which is an issue. The origin of the battery, the lithium, the origin of it, there is slavery, there is these children working, so there is the disposal of the battery afterwards. So there are some problems on this battery sector, but it's improving. So these are some details she says. And just to before we go to the king of carbon, he is from Brazil. And a very important detail, much more than reforestation and preserving the Amazon forest, the transport sector has all these conditions that harm population and life on planet with all these pollutants. So she considers transportation much more harmful than protecting, then it's like a priority than the forest, which she sees as important. But forests, they like naturally take they get on fire. Yeah, of course, we need to protect, but we are all the time like using the transportation with fossil fuel, and that's causing these lung diseases, these respiratory diseases. Before we go to the main topic, if you want to learn how to benefit from communities, how to find professionals that are trustworthy, like the ones I call here on our interjections podcast, we have alpha member services that will help you to understand how to behave in a community, how to get to know other professionals, how to engage in a partnership and understand if the professional is trustworthy, how to relate with other professionals, and testing people to see how their competence, to see their commitment with your cause, your sector, and your work. Get to know how to do all that in our alpha member service. That's in the description. So let's go to the king of carbon now. Uh, let me let me explain what happened. The king of carbon was the biggest carbon credit. It is a case, biggest carbon credit fraud in Brazil, maybe of America. King of carbon involved this businessman called Ricardo Stop Jr. So watch out for that name. That was involving irregular registrations in indigenous lands, illegal appropriated lands and federal lands, fraud in notary offices, and bribery of public officials. And it was like they used Amazon to create this whole fraud scheme, because Amazon is very famous, and they were saying they were protecting Amazon, but actually most of the time they were not. And they sold this carbon credit to huge companies, and they were worth nothing. So let's understand how Isabel Caires figured out that something weird was going on, and she gives us some tips for so we won't fall into the same kind of scheme. She says in the market there are many people selling credits that are already that were already sold, and they should not be sold again. So she said that there's a number that each credit has, and you should see if that number is you should see in the platforms if that carbon is new, is still worth something, and it was not sold yet. And she says another tip, that if that credit involves many people in a chain, too many people in a chain, like more than three, like four or five, she says that's not common. Not She says that that's kind of almost definitely uh, a scheme. Another tip, she says, you should always buy on the platforms, directly in the platforms. Never when an ad on Google anywhere appears selling the carbon credits. Never. She said it's like usually it's a scam, it's a fraud. So very interesting tips. She says that you should, if you don't know the process, methodology, how it works, and you will not be able to go to the land that is the origin of the credit. You should hire someone that will go for you to see if that place really exists, to see the documents, to see the owner. That is a very important step to ensure the audition of this credit. She says that was something that missed in all this King of Carbon case. and giant companies. She said that they should have done that, they haven't done it. So that's a very important step. And she is one of these professionals that does that. So if you need to hire someone, she is available. Her contacts are in the description of this video. And another tip that she shares for companies that want to buy carbon credits, buy it in small quantities per time, not the whole amount and huge quantity, because you can reduce your risk. And I like how she sees all this work. There is a community of people that does not believe that the humans are responsible for the climate change, the global warming, but she sees this all this carbon emission as an opportunity to deal with the pollutants when you use the fossil fuel as a combustant. She also shares that most people that comes to her just saying, showing that the purpose is not, they don't really think of the preservation of the climate change or the nature. They are thinking about the credits, the money that's going to generate. She steps back, and like that person lost a bit of her credits, like her trust, because most of the times with of her experience, these kind of people are not going to do it right, are not going to follow the process, or they have to do with fraud. So that's why she looks very it's important to her to see the purpose of people involved. And I asked her about the geopolitics of the world with Trump as a president now, and he does not like he does not believe in this decarbonization. He's like excluding that from his agenda. But she, as very like very much experienced person, and she said that all those countries like China, they pollute a lot. Like they, she said that at the time in the Kyoto uh, protocol, Bush did not sign, but she said that each of those countries, they were taking care of their own environment. She said that she in the 2000s she was in United States, and she was driving an electric car at that time. So she said that they are investing on new technology to deal to have more like security in the energy sector, to reduce the pollutants. She says the countries are taking care of their own environment, of their own atmospheres and pollutants, and she doesn't see that the carbon market is going to fall, because people are interested in taking care of the environment and deal with the climate change somehow. And the technologies that are being developed are not going to stop. They're not going to be like thrown away. They're going to be used. It's been used since a lot decades ago, and it's a lot more developed now. And she sees that a future of focused on technology. That's what she would. That's what she believes in the technology sector, and very like an area that emits a lot of these greenhouse gases. It's the sanitation area. So many, it's a very like it's a huge opportunity to develop sanitation in everywhere in the world. It would improve a lot the health of population, the condition of life, and also it would help to capture, not emit the greenhouse gases, and protect the water on the ground and the land, and also the sea, the oceans. So that I think is a sector that's interesting for those who are looking for new areas to invest. This kind of infrastructure is an opportunity for the greenhouse gas emission, the carbon credits. It's also a very interesting impact, social and environmental impacts globally. If there's any issue you would like Isabel to talk about that has to do with renewable energy, carbon emissions, credits, uh, leave here in the comments, and so we can know what the community is demanding. If this content was helpful somehow, like and share it with someone that might benefit from it. And don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter because social media not always deliver notification. This was the content of today. Green Business Posts: Responsible Impacts for Sustainable Communities.